Hello everybody, welcome to a new series of tutorials from Sound for More. It's Leo speaking. Today I'm going to kick off a new series on MIDI layers, and I'm going to start right away on the first tutorial with the case of using MIDI layers. Why using MIDI layers? Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Okay, so we are inside AUM. I have two instances of Synth Master 2, as you can see. So let's open on the first one and let's choose something like a bass. So let's select bass here, like so. And let's choose something. Perhaps an up, that would be nice. Let's bring up also the keyboard from AUM so that we can test it. Okay, let's leave that one as an example. That is fine. And then let's go on the second instance of Synth Master 2. Let's connect the keyboard again and let's maximize it a little bit. And then let's go to the browse and let's choose, for example, something like a pad like so. Okay, and let's scroll down and let's test one. And let's decrease the output as well. Okay, perfect. So before you had MIDI layers, if you wanted to do a split in AUM, what you had to do is to connect the keyboard on an external controller. But in this case, I'm going to use the internal keyboard to both instances, like so. Okay. And then you would have to select the ranges. So for example, you would have to scroll down here and say note range. So for these first instance, perhaps up to C4. So you would change these to something like C4. And on the second instance, you would do the opposite. You would just say starting, actually, let's do this starting from C4, like so, and the first one start finishing at B3. Okay, if you've done that, now if you press C4 on the keyboard, you have that pad on the second instance, and if you press below, you have that bass. Nice and simple. Now you might be saying, okay, I don't need MIDI layers, but imagine to have to do these for a lot of different instances with even splitting further the keyboard layout and also between different controllers. It can get really difficult to manage. And this is where actually MIDI layers come to the rescue. So what do is you open up MIDI layer, you connect the keyboard so that the keyboard goes only to MIDI layers, and then you connect the MIDI layers to the different output. So in this case, the first instance to the output 1 and the second instance of Synth Master 2 to layer output 2, like so. And then you go inside layers and you start to add layers. So the first one, like so, and then you can define the range, like so. You click and drag, and then this will be already on output number 1, because if you click on option, it will say output port number 1, which is fine. And then what you would do is create another layer, and then you will move that layer up, so it will start from C4, like so, and perhaps expand the upper range as well. And then you will set the option to have output port number 2. So if now you test it, and as you would appreciate, this is much easier to manage because you have a graphical representations of all the different splits and layers. Of course, Midi Layers is much more than just a layering down different splits which cover different ranges and connect to different um, audio sources inside AUM. Is much more than that. And indeed, I actually worked with Paul at 4Pockets to introduce these sequencers, so each layer now has a sequencer. But that will come in the next tutorial. So I'm going to stop here. So hopefully this video explains the case of why using MIDI layers. And we're going to start on the next one to go through all the different controls and how layers works in detail. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.